Nah, I mean, I don't train for knockouts. I don't train for knockouts. I can train for punishment. Punish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see a joker get knocked out. Lucky punch. I didn't see the punch. Don't remember nothing. When you whoop him. Joker said this. Yeah, I remember that fight, man. That was the hardest fight I had. Because he had a chance.
I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
What do you feel like Lamont Roach is really good in? Like, do you feel like his inside game is probably like underrated? What do you feel like his best attribute is?
He just did. He got off the canvas once. It ain't about the dub with me. It's about you got that will against will. I don't know. I know I can. I ain't even pushed no buttons with Tank yet. I came from a...
Following their return to training camp, Gervonta Davis's trainer, Calvin Ford, has attacked Lamont Roach, claiming that he battled against the softest Tank. When reporters were given access to Gervonta Davis's training camp yesterday, they questioned Coach Calvin about their experience there and what they plan to do differently to defeat Lamont Roach.
We can't wait to see Kenny here. All is here. You know, everybody was putting that energy in the air.
Which I used to do behind doors, now it's in the light.
Coach Calvin claims that the Tank who faced Lamont Roach was not the vicious knockout artist who had defeated 28 of his 30 opponents. Tank wasn't there. Although he fought Tank on a terrible day and ended up drawing, that was the Roach's strong point. We'd see what constitutes a good day. Lamont has pushed the button, so the Tank I see in training is the same Tank we've always known.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, you know. Roach and him, back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight, everybody.
Prior to the first fight, Coach Gervonta Davis had a lot going on with him. He brought up the fact that Tank had once declared he was sick of the sport and called off the battle. I'm not sure if he was fatigued because of me or something. Else, I believe it was only him. He stated that Lamont Roach will feel the heat once Tank returns to the ring, even though he is unable to identify the precise cause of Tank's problems. Given how harsh their training camp has been since his return, he vowed to punish him severely.
He watched him, he said, boom, and I see the light in Tank. You know, I just can't wait to see all of that come together, fight night.
Roach, no, I love you and your family. We've been doing this for years. That night, I look at all the fights. I know what he coming to do, and y'all know what he coming to do. But y'all don't know. We have history. Everybody should turn into this because
As I usually say, I promise punishments, not knockouts. And the knockout happens on its own when it gets serious enough. I can assure Roach that he will receive a punishment unlike anything he has ever experienced. As it sounds to Tank Davis's admirers, the fact that Lamont Roach didn't compete against the best Tank made neutral supporters uneasy. That is just false. After the fight, Tank was supposed to announce Jake Paul. He wouldn't be mild about such a fight for whatever cause. According to a fan, he just lost his sense of direction when Lamont didn't recoil when struck. Another person wrote, "I detest falsehoods. That night, Tank was Tank. Lamont Roach just made some of his finest shots and stayed upright."
And we Tank been saying this several times. He on the biggest stage of his life, and he want to show up. Are you ready for it? Are you really ready for it? Are you really ready for it? Okay. Oh, he got some live people that ain't him. That's the Roach I know. So when we picked this fight, it was a fight to know, like, yo.
Additionally, a third said, "I'm glad Tank's time is coming. Nothing will compare to Lamont Roach's victory. How you accept defeat is part of what makes you a champion," said another. Tank and his squad did a horrible job. Tank had been claiming he didn't know what round it was, that he might have knocked him out. and other similar things since the night they fought. He should just accept the fact that he has met his match. Tank was allegedly not at his best that night, and even Lamont Roach had complained over it.
But right now, like he said, we got to rumble. We got to rumble, so all that shit don't matter to me right now. And I'm going to take full advantage of that because it's like he got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Or he losing his fire. Like, he losing his fire. Like, I don't know if y'all seen the last press conference. When I got up on him, towards the end, you know, he was getting this, you know what I'm saying? He was getting this shot. I told him, I said, oh, there that fire go right there. That's what I want to fight the best. I want to fight the best version of him.
You want the best version of Tank?
Yeah.
Following the bout, spectators frequently expressed the opinion that Davis, who started the bout as the favorite to defeat Roach, was overpriced, considering the result. However, considering that Roach spent 12 rounds in the ring with him, few people could provide a more appropriate response to this topic than Roach. Additionally, Roach clarified whether or not he thinks Davis is overrated during his participation on an edition of the It Is What It Is podcast on March 18th.
Naj, you got anything else from Lamont?
Yo, last question. I just want to know, how has your life changed since the fight, man? You know, obviously we follow each other on social media. I see your followers went up, all of the other stuff kind of going up. How has things changed for you since the fight has happened?
Bruh, literally overnight, it changed. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I got walk around with security. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I walk around with my peoples. Like, it's crazy. I can't do the same stuff that I used to do.
He was really giving it his all that evening, and I want everyone to know that. I will tell folks that without a doubt. According to Roach, it doesn't necessarily follow that he had a horrible fight merely because he didn't meet the standards. People now claim that he is overrated and rubbish. He is a combative individual. I was thinking I have to as I entered. Nothing was taken away from him by it. He went on to say that was why the fight was so good. That's it. When
I can't go to the grocery store, I can't go nowhere, bro. Like, I can't do nothing. And it's crazy, like, it's just crazy because I know that that's what this come with if I get to the level that I'm supposed to be. But when it really happened to you, like, you sit back and look at it like, damn, like, this really happened.
You see, people were accustomed to seeing Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford for a very long period. It reminded me of Custamato and Mike Tyson. The triumvirate of Gervonta Davis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis resonated with fans in a similar way to more current instances like Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, or even Pacquiao and Roach. However, fans did not want to see Barry Hunter with Davis.
So everything is good with Calvin because it's the first time he's not the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I said Calvin's pops.
One questions what could have led to the change. Calvin Ford provided some insight into the situation in an interview with Fight Hub TV. His second PBC Amazon Prime Video PPV card was contested by Davis. Ford, like many others, observed how Davis's training paid off in the ring and expected a good battle. He remembered the pair battling frequently in the gym, with Tank traveling from Baltimore and Roach from Washington, D.C. He thought it was a fantastic chance for him and appreciated Roach's work ethic. Perhaps people are interpreting the issue incorrectly, saying anything. The training structure was unchanged, but he had only retreated a step. The report...
he will always be around, you know what I mean? So, that's Pop, like I said. So he'll always be near. It's, without me, without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the...
They only wanted to discover if the little separation strengthened their relationship, as happens when family members spend time away and then value one another more when they get back together. Well, he knows that I spend time with my amateurs, so he came to watch me slow down and worry about you. You are familiar with me. You two are quite familiar with me. I always spend time with my amateurs. That's my piece, Coach Ford answered. Although he wasn't training Tank directly, he felt reassured by knowing where he was and that he was training. He admitted that being apart from Davis made them both value their relationship. Ford knew the lightweight champion missed him as much as he missed the latter when he got back to the gym. Barry Hunter also offered a similar...
The relationship with you and Gervonta take place, being in this corner now. Will you be in this corner come Saturday night?
I will be in this corner. Here's the deal. We got a long history. Calvin called me years ago. Gervonta was a little boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. Brought him up to the gym, and we've all been together ever since. Times when you don't see us, myself, and maybe Patrice Harris with him, we still write his fight plans up and everything. So we've been...
Calvin is coming. Coach Barry will be present. He stated during an interview that Kenny and Coach Boogie would be present. Tank and other coaches will be in his corner, suggesting that it's not a big deal, even though Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis won't be. It is important to note that this is not the first time that Tank's corner has changed. Hunter had known Tank from his early career and amateur days. Like Ford, he is not a new member of Tank's team. He added that individuals frequently draw assumptions without knowing the whole picture, and that false information is frequently disseminated online. He underlined fans should therefore be confident that it appears to be a brief change that could return to the previous structure when Gervonta Davis returns in a few months.
Calvin will be there, Coach Barry will be there, Coach Boogie will be there, and Kenny will be there as well. If you look at his earlier fights when he first started out, the grind, like we like to call it, I've been there, even in the amateurs, so this is nothing new. Tank is like family to us, you know what I mean? Lamont is family too, but Tank, Lamont comes to the gym and spar all the time. Tank is one that we built.
At DC, they call me Mo. Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin tatted on me.
A number of outside circumstances contributed to the recent announcement that the trainer and Gervonta Davis had broken up after more than 10 years of dating, as verified by coach Calvin Ford. Since it was rumored till today, Gervonta Davis has been silent on these issues, most likely due to his training camp activities or simply because he is unwilling to discuss the problem.
I understand what we got to go against every time we get in there. That square box of lunch is serious. So when I talk to him, he know what I'm talking about. Let's see.
Ever since Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the unbeaten lightweight champion of the World Boxing Association, defeated Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st, and the two battled to a majority draw decision, the story surrounding Davis has drastically changed. A lot of people think Roach did enough to win and give Davis his first straight defeat in the professional ranks. However, it becomes evident that Davis essentially got away with an undeserving outcome when one considers that he was not penalized for taking a knee in the 9th round, which should have given Roach a 10-8 record instead of a 10-9 one for Davis.
Truthfully speaking, it wasn't really hard to focus. I've been an underdog before, obviously not a huge underdog, but when you go back to the Jamel fight, world title fight, I was an underdog. When you go back to the Hector fight, I was an underdog. Very disrespectful underdog, honestly. So now when we get here to the Tank fight, it's just like, all right, here we go again. I feel like when my back is against the wall or against the ropes, it's like, it's time to show up. So
Lamont Roach had promised his interviewers that there were increasing discussions about a rematch right away. Roach stated in the podcast that he is adamant that Willis not be in the ring the next time. Absolutely not. He can't do the next. Pout no. Observe how frequently he ruined the fight. They were aware that he was heading to the corner for help. The coach used a towel to clean his face, but I'm not implying that he cheated or anything. That is not possible. None of it is possible for you. That makes you ineligible. After you took a knee, you turned your back on the referee battles.
Cards. Judge at the ringside. Eric Marlinski scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
The New York State Athletic Commission rejected Roach's request to have the outcome reversed. The next step, according to both parties, was an instant rematch, which is expected to take place before the end of June. Roach replied, "I'm going to tell you right now, I'm signed and sealed. On the other side, we are waiting, that's all." But when Roach's team pushed for an additional review, things swiftly shifted, Roach, Lamont, and his group. Unfortunately, they asked, although there wasn't much anticipation for the fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach on March 1st. It seems to be the only topic of conversation in the boxing community in the days and weeks following its conclusion.
You're now officially moving up to 35?
I mean, we gonna see. I mean, like, so I'm gonna be the champ at both weights.
Right.
And if there's no opportunity to unify at 35, I want to unify at 30. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
This is due to the contentious 9th round of the bout, in which referee Steve Willis did not penalize Davis for taking a knee, going to his corner to get a towel to clean his face, and then immediately returning to the fight.
That's a generous call from him. Did he not take a knee? Take the mouthpiece, took him out. That's right. Oh, here comes Davis. Davis exploding. And Roach took the shots and fired back some of his own. Short left hand from Roach. Counter right hand lands by the challenger. Davis misses with the left and Roach. Check right hand in round 10 where Roach has landed 8 of 26.
Since the fight was finally decided by a majority draw, a rematch between these two lightweight competitors is now possible. Davis was a huge favorite going into this battle. He's also regarded by many as one of the sport's toughest punchers, and he would have no trouble locating Roach's chin and ending the bout early. That was obviously not the case. Fans are questioning whether Davis was exposed versus Roach and has been overrated up to this point now that the bout is done. Gervonta Davis, a recent lightweight champion of the World Boxing Organization with a 13-0 professional record and 9 knockouts, is unrelated to Gervonta Davis and intends to face the victor of the Tank vs. Roach rematch. Questioned explicitly if Roach had exposed Davis in a recent Portaway podcast interview.
That fight that they had was a phenomenal fight. That joint was like one of the fights, I feel like could be one of the fights of the year. Yeah. High level, skill level, 2 boxers in there, but still trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? And I understand a fight like that because I fight how they was fighting. I just feel like I do a better job at it.
He wasn't exposed, in my opinion. Regarding Tank, Gervonta Davis remarked, "I just believe Lamont exceeded everyone's expectations. Lamont is a fierce fighter. He disproved my assertion that I believed Tank would knock him out. Lamont is better than we made him out to be, but I don't think Tank got exposed or anything like that." Like many others in the boxing community, he gave Gervonta Davis credit.
But with that, it's number 3 for me. That's how I feel.
Sauce Walker was just here the other day.
Yeah.
I asked him what he thought about the fight. He's a huge boxing fan, you know that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Huge boxing fan. He knows how to box too. He knows how to throw his hands.
He showed me some videos.
Yeah, he said,
I
want
to see that. Yeah.
I said, what do you think happened? He said, he said, Roach won convincingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, he said, I don't care about the knee. He goes, but I'm gonna tell you what, if I were Roach, I ain't doing the rematch.
In what many said would be Tank's day, Gervonta "Tank" Davis defended his World Boxing Association lightweight title against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center. In the end, it was his day, but what caught people's attention was the purported partiality that denied Roach the spotlight.